I'm bored and I want to show you how you can clean up your desktop, make things look nicer, and just overall good. So I'm going to do that. The first thing I would recommend doing is right-clicking your desktop screen, clicking View, and click Show Desktop Icons and disabling it. Once it's disabled, all your desktop icons will disappear, and it's a lot better and a lot more clean. And if you ever need to use any icon on your desktop, you can right click and just re-enable it. Simple as that. Another thing you could do if you do want to keep your desktop icons on is try setting up the small icons. If it's on medium or large, they're kind of too big. Small icons is a lot nicer, and do that. The taskbar is a pretty big thing, and I use an app that is called Transient TB that you can download for free on GitHub or the Microsoft Store. If you want to use it, you can. You don't have to. But one thing I would say is once you download it, your taskbar should become clear, and that's normal. Here, Transient TB, desktop. There's 5 different settings here, or you can just make it a color, and you can turn on show taskbar border if you want. There's multiple settings you can do. There's other things also in here for battery saver, so on. One thing I recommend doing is visible window, turning it on and setting it to whatever you like. This makes it so whenever you tab into just something like this, you see it becomes black instead because I'm tabbed into another window rather than this. One thing you can do is come here to the personalization tab and then background in your Windows settings. You go to personalization and you go to background, and here you are. You can click personalize your background, and you can either set it as a picture, solid color, a slideshow of images, or a Windows spotlight. And there's also different themes that you can use if you want to change it. I normally don't use themes though. I don't really like them. You can add a picture for your desktop, and it's as simple as search up like 1920 by 1080 or something until you find it. Whenever you add the picture, you also have different options to either fill the screen with it or stretch the image, so on and so on. You just choose them until you find the one that seems to fit the best. I use fill, and I just have this image. It just fills it until it reaches the corners. So we can also take this a step further if you want and get wallpaper engine, but I'll show that in a second. I'm going to show you more things about your taskbar that are important. Go to your Windows settings and go up to your find a setting and search taskbar settings. Here we are. Now, one of the first things is right here, taskbar items. There is search. The search bar, you can have just the icon, which is like this. Or there's other ones where it's the search icon and the label, or just an entire search box. I personally do hide because I do not need the search bar there, because if you press the Windows key or just click this, you can search from there instead. Task view is basically if you hold Alt and Tab, you can just like alternate between your screens. But there's also a button for it down here. You don't need it because you can just press Alt and Tab at the same time and do it, easy. And I'd also disable widgets. Widgets is, just like you might see like the news thing in the bottom left or whatever. Another thing is the pen menu. You can turn this on or off. Doesn't actually matter. This is just if you have a pen connected to your computer, it will show an icon down here letting you know. Now, if you come to other system tray icons, you can turn on the hidden icon menu, which is important because it's not here. Now it is. This is important. This is hidden things in the background, which is important to keep, such as, you're not going to realize Transient TB in here. You'd have to go to your taskbar if you want to close it, but no, it's in here. It's called hidden icons. Now, you're allowed to turn on other icons, such as the reason my Discord shows up here is because I turned on, the icon for it. I'm personally going to turn it off actually because it seems better for me. You can turn on other icons if you want. And the Windows update status is kind of a good one to have. So it just tells you when your computer needs an update. So I'd recommend having that one on, but you can turn these off all you want. If you come to taskbar behaviors, you can turn on this if you want. This will automatically hide your taskbar, so it's completely clear. And if you go down with your mouse, you'll see it pop back up. But I personally don't like that. There's also show badges on taskbar apps, or flashing on taskbar apps, or show my taskbar on all displays. You can change that. Basically, this makes it so it's only on your main monitor, and if you have a second monitor, your taskbar will not pop up on it. There's these settings you can mess with, which are just useful, and that's about it. You can also come to your date and time, and you can mess with your date and time as much as you want. You can make it so it can display in seconds like mine does, or you can even just make it less. Now I'm going to show you Wallpaper Engine because it's really cool to have Wallpaper Engine. It is $5 though on Steam, but it is very much worth it if you get it. Now with Wallpaper Engine, this is exactly what my desktop looks like. I can very much say that I think it's worth it because you can get all sorts of cool wallpapers like this or whatever you want. There's tens of thousands of wallpapers you can download from. Find the one you like. I like this one because it shows my time and date, and it looks really nice. And it looks really well with the translucent TB, allowing me to see everything. I also forgot to mention the taskbar alignment and taskbar behaviors. You're allowed to set this so your taskbars on the left or center. Now, it does look pretty nice in the bottom left. I do like it in the middle though, but I don't know. I think I'll keep it like this.